So we'll get started. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Alex Plachuta. This is Lori Washensky. So we've been capturing videos on and off for the last several years. However, it's our legal obligation to make sure all audio and videos are captioned. This summer I spent time with Ife Williams and Chuck Baker capturing some of their stuff, and I've done it for YouTube. If we go to an organization that's going to charge us, they're going to charge us 1 to 2 minutes per, $1 per minute, or sorry, $1 to $2 per minute of video, okay? And if it's technical and medical, you're looking at $2 to $3 a minute, which is unbelievable. So Lori discovered this great resource on YouTube, brought it to my attention, and I basically thanked her for saving the college almost $100,000 a year, because that's what it would cost for us to go back, caption all the video library that we have, and move forward. So Lori's going to show you how the YouTube works. Okay, don't worry if you have questions about privacy or making things public or private. We've got that all nailed down. And I'm proud to announce that we worked with IT to get everybody their own YouTube channel. We haven't announced it yet, okay, because we need to come up with a policy about usage. Obviously, I mean, we all kind of know what teaching and learning is. And just ask that you don't record your Friday night shenanigans and post them on YouTube. But we'll have a policy about that. But Lori will show you how to get into everything through Delegate and how YouTube will auto caption your videos. Now, it's about 80% accurate, so she will show you the important final step of editing and making sure you're capitalizing, you're adding periods and adding emphasis and wherever that text needs to be. So she's just going to whet your appetite with how to do this, and if anybody needs help, let me know. And again, I'll send out an email on Monday just to make sure that any of our online faculty, any lesson plans you have, or anything you've done for weeks 1, 2, and 3, we'll go ahead and try to help you with that caption. Okay, so feel free to ask your questions as we proceed.
Okay, so again, for people that walked in, I'm recording the desktop, so I'm capturing audio. So just know that we're getting that audio as I'm talking. So think about what to say. Also, this video will be made available to you early next week so that you can review it if there's anything that you didn't catch. I also made a quick 14-minute video walking you through the same steps, but just in case there's questions that I didn't cover in that video, we'll have this session available. Okay? So I'm going to log into Google Chrome, and I just want to say Alex is the one who got us all the YouTube accounts through DCCC, so he kind of downplayed that, but IT was not allowing us to have any of the social media stuff, but so if you have anything on your Christmas list that you want Alex to negotiate Santa with, he got IT to turn on YouTube, so he's pretty magical. He's pretty magical.
We already knew that.
So we're going to go to Delegate. And I'm going to log in.
Good Lord.
Okay, so we're in Delegate. Before I show you how to access the YouTube account, I'm going to show you where the electronic handout is. I'll also send it to you directly. But if you go to Faculty and you go to the Center for Excellence and you go to Teaching Resources, which is the third link on the page, we have the captioning video link under creating content. So it's right here. Right here. So right now it's a 12-page handout. Come on. So what I do, I give you some general information. If you use Camtasia, there's some resources for Camtasia. We're going to be talking about the difference between closed captioning and open captioning. And so These are a way to do open captioning, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Here, editing captions created automatically in YouTube. This is where the directions start for accessing your channel, setting your channel up the first time, and actually getting in and editing your closed captions. This is where the tutorial is that I created before the session, and this is where the session video will be linked when it's ready. I'm going to cut it down, I'm going to zoom in on stuff so you can see it better, so it'll take a couple of days for me to edit the video. But that's where the link will be when it's ready. And I'll keep that list and I'll let you guys know when it is available. So this is the handout, and I take you through with screenshots showing you what to do. And then these are captioning tips that we can talk a little bit about as well. Okay. So to get into your DCCC YouTube account, you want to click on the apps button at the top. And because YouTube is a part of Google and Google Drive, you go to your employee Google Apps. It's going to launch in a new tab. And so you see your drive. So what you want to do is click on the square menu link up at the top. It looks like 9 little squares all together. You're going to go down to More, and then that's where you'll see where your DCCC YouTube account is. The login from Delegate should carry through Drive, and it should carry through into YouTube. You'll see that it says sign in up at the top. So if you just click on that, it should show you that you're in your account.
Is there a way to put a photo instead of our initial, like you have L up there?
I'm not sure. That might be something that IT controls. Okay. So I can check on that for you. But I have a feeling that it's
Alex can get it done.
Okay. Alex got us YouTube, so Alex can make us have photos of anybody up there, I think. So if you click on the little icon that is your user icon, it'll show you that you're in your DCCC account. Okay. The first time that you log in and try to upload something, you are going to have to set up your YouTube channel. And so you're going to see this. So when you first click on the upload link, and since I already did it, I remembered to grab screenshots before I went through at least. So when you first try to upload a video, you're going to see that you must create a channel to upload videos. So you're going to click on the Create a Channel link. And then you'll see a dialog box come up with your name in it. And Alex said we can't change our name, right, Alex? We can't change our name
right
here?
now, no.
Right.
So again, remember I referred to the Friday Night Shenanigans? So
right.
Your name will be listed right under those videos, so please be careful.
So my name is filled in there, so I'm going to just click Create Channel. So I did that already. So now to upload a video, if you've never uploaded a video to YouTube, I'm going to click on the upload button. And we get this dialog screen here. So you can either click on the gray and white arrow to get an open dialog box, or and you know if you're on a Windows machine and you grab the title bar and pull it down, the window resizes so that you can see the desktop. So I'm going to move it over a little bit, and I created a really small video that I'm going to show you to upload so it doesn't take too much time. Just to talk a little bit about your privacy settings, and that's what Alex was talking about. Here, I like to change my privacy settings before I upload my video because it's a calmer, plainer screen and it's right there so I remember to do it. So you have options. Public, unlisted, private, and again, I'm not sure what scheduled is. I'm assuming that if you choose scheduled, it's, I guess if you're like a YouTube content creator where you're making money off of what you're doing, you can have a whole bunch of videos queued up to upload at certain times. But we're going to just concern ourselves with the three here. There's public, unlisted, and private. So public, if you upload your videos as public, it's something that you could choose to do. But what public will do is if someone comes to the site from outside the college and they search on keywords that are contained with your video, it's possible that your content could show up. So you could choose to upload your videos publicly, but I know a lot of my faculty members like to protect the content that they create. So that's really not an option for most of you because I just know how you feel about what you create, and that's totally understandable. So what we recommend is that you want to use unlisted. And what unlisted will do is it will hide your video from the general public, but it will allow you to share your video with a URL, or it'll allow you to embed your video into Canvas. It'll allow you to do whatever you want with that URL. Once the URL is shared, it can't prevent the students from sharing it with friends in other classes or something like that. But then if they post it, you can probably go after them for not asking your permission. But so you want unlisted. You don't want private, because what private will do is it assumes that the person who is viewing the video has a YouTube account and you're going to have to share it with their email address. And so that causes a whole bunch of problems with people logging in and knowing what account to use. And so the best thing to do is to upload it as unlisted. That's going to give you the least amount of trouble. So I'm going to choose unlisted. And I created a really small video, so I'm going to just take it and drag it and upload it. You could upload more than one video at once. So this is the upload screen. It's processing, it already uploaded because it was really small, and now it's processing. So you get 2 progress bars. So obviously the longer your video is, the longer it's going to take to upload and the longer it's going to take to process. And what the processing does is that it's YouTube converting it to something that they can show on their site, because you can upload a lot of different types of video to YouTube. Okay, so if you forget to go in and change the privacy of your video when you first upload it, you have an opportunity here to change the privacy here as well. And then also you'll have a video manager where you can go in and work with the video there as well. So there are a lot of different places you can go in if you forget to do it. But when it's right there when I'm uploading my video, I like to change it there because I get calls and I forget what I'm doing, and so it's just easier to do it right when I'm uploading it. So when I'm done, I'm going to click done. You can also go in here and change, if you were making this public, and again, you can make your content public. We're not embarrassed of what you do, so you can create stuff that you want the whole world to see. So you can change the title here to make it something more relevant. You can give it a description, and you can give it tags. So again, so if someone's coming in and looking for addition videos or looking for blood type videos or looking, if you put keywords and a description and a good title, that'll cause it to come up in the person's search. Okay, so I'm going to go to done. And so this is the URL where my video will be ready for me to share. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the video manager to show you how to get YouTube to start thinking about creating the automatic captions. Because it's not, captioning the video is not an immediate process. YouTube has to kind of go through and analyze the audio in the video. So what Alex likes to tell people is, if your video is 5 minutes long, give it at least 15 minutes for the transcription to happen, and depending on how busy the site is, it may take even longer than that. So a lot of times I'll upload it here, and then if I go home, it's ready by the time I go home, or maybe even a little, depending on how big the video is and how complicated the audio is in the video.
Does it give some kind of prompt to let you know that it's analyzing it, or do you just have to wait? 'Cause that's what I was running into this week.
There's a way that I go through and kind of tell it that I want it to.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to show you that in a
Okay.
minute. Depending on if it's a really long video, and they don't say in help what a really long video is, but you may have trouble with transcription if your video is really long, and that's the only thing that they say.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you're not going to put a 2-hour video up there for your students. You're going to, you know, what the brain science says is like about 10 minutes is about the most anybody can really pay attention. So you're not going to upload really big videos there anyway, but they weren't specific with what a long video is. So you could have trouble with transcription that way. You could have trouble if you're using specific jargon, if you're mispronouncing words, if you have sound underneath of what you're saying, so if you have music or a noisy room, people talking over top of each other, or if you have a heavy accent, it could cause the transcription to not work as well as it would if you didn't have those factors involved. So this is my video manager, and I can get to there when I upload my video by clicking on the video manager button that we saw. Let's say you uploaded your videos, but you needed to go to class, and now you want to come back and get to the videos to edit them. There's a different way you can get in. So you can click on your user icon, and you can click on Creator Studio. And then that gets you to the video manager, and you can click on videos. Now I have seen on the blogs that the video editor is going away in YouTube, so you won't be able to, if you were a video creator before and using YouTube to create your videos, you wouldn't be able to edit your videos anymore, and I think it's after a certain date in September that that's going to happen. But they're not.
Is it going to be a premium service, or are they just doing away with it?
I think they're just doing away with it, and there's really no, I didn't see any reason why, but a lot of times with Google, if there's a project that somebody's working on and they are not interested in it anymore, they'll just scrap it, and who cares if anybody's using it. Or if they get assigned someplace else and nobody else wants to take it over, Google will just let it go. Or they could be coming out with a new product that they want us to use later, and so they're taking that away. But there are, you'll still, from what I understand, you'll still be able to add enhancements and things like that, and you'll also still be able to get into captioning. I did not see anything about closed captioning in any of those posts that I read. So we're going full steam ahead. And like Alex said, if they take the captioning away, we'll have bake sales and go to Plan B and car washes and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so before I actually get into the captioning, I want to just talk a little bit about terms. A lot of people use captioning and subtitles, those terms, they use them as an equivalent, and they're not. Subtitling is, when you add a subtitle to a video, you're assuming that your audience does not have any hearing issues. So what subtitles are is, if you go to a foreign film, you'll see subtitles, but they're not going to describe any of the other audio in the video. Or you may have subtitles if it's garbled, or if someone has a heavy accent. You see that a lot on the really terrible reality shows that they have on the TLC channel. TLC channel has Honey Boo Boo on it now, but you'll see on shows like that. It used to be NASA, and now it's Honey Boo Boo. But you'll see on those terrible reality shows that if someone has a really thick accent, they'll actually put subtitles under them, but they're not going to describe any of the other audio that's happening in the video. So that's what subtitling is. Captioning describes every type of audio that's going on in the video. So you're going to have the spoken words, you're going to have Any sound effects, you're going to describe that. So you'll have applause or booing. You'll have, if there's music playing, there's little music icons that come up and show that there's music playing. So, and if there's dialogue between people in the video, you're going to identify who's speaking. So there are conventions for captioning. So that's the difference between captioning and subtitling, okay? There's also two types of captioning that can be included in your video, that can be associated with your video. There's closed captioning and open captioning. And closed captioning is what we're going to talk about today. And it's really the only thing that YouTube can help you with, so that's really all we're going to talk about today. But what closed captioning is it's the captions can be turned on and off. So you don't have to watch the video with the text underneath of it. You can turn it on and off as you need to. The open captioning is when the captioning is burned onto the video itself and you can't turn it on or off. It's there all the time. So why would you want to have open captioning? If you are sharing your content with people who don't have a way to watch your video that can handle subtitles is usually why you're going to do open captioning. But we're going to show you how to do closed captioning. And it's the closed captioning is that black box with the 2 white C's in it. That's closed captioning. And so you'll see it on TVs, you'll see it in YouTube. And so the nice thing about putting our videos up in YouTube is that it already has a delivery system for captions. So it's really nice. So I showed you in the handout, just to beat a dead horse even more. So this is what this does. Hard coding and burning subtitles on a video. I have used Handbrake. Handbrake is a free piece of software that you can download, and I've actually been able to burn captions onto a video so that it stays on the video no matter what. I haven't had any luck using VLC, but supposedly you can do it with VLC too, and that's a media player that we have on all of our computers. But I have had success in the past with Handbrake. And Handbrake is a nice application to have because it'll convert a video from one type to another, which is nice. So if you have content that you want to get on your iPhone and you have to make it an MP4, Handbrake has settings for iPad, iPhone, all that. Okay. So I uploaded my video, so I'm going to go into edit to get into editing mode. And they haven't said that they're going to change any way to do this for captioning once the editor goes away. So if that changes, we'll let you know. But for right now, that's how you get to the captioning. So this is editing. So what you want to do is you want to click on the subtitles CC tab. And so I want to click on add new subtitles or closed captioning. And I'm going to click on English. And supposedly there are, if you, I guess, were a foreign language professor, there's like 187 other languages that you can work with. We're going to take it into English. And so I'm going to hit transcribe and auto sync. And so I believe that this is the way that you tell YouTube to start working on your video, to start translating it. That's the way I do it. I don't think it automatically does it, but that's the way I tell YouTube, hey, I want you to start thinking about this.
It doesn't automatically do it.
It doesn't? Okay. Well, that's the way you tell it. So we told it to start thinking about it. So we'll come back and see. It's 1:59 now. So we'll come back at maybe 2:15 and see if it actually transcribed. But I do have other videos. So this is the video that I uploaded today. I uploaded it at 1:20. So let's see if it created automatic caption. Well, no, because I didn't tell it to yet. Oh, it did. I must have told it to. Okay. So once it's done chewing on the video, you'll see under the subtitles it'll say English automatic. So that means it automatically transcribed it for you. Okay? So to get in there, I'm going to click on English automatic. So I uploaded that video at 1:20 today. It's about a 15-minute long video, and so by 2 o'clock it was transcribed. So that's not too bad. Okay, so this is where you can get in to start editing your captions. And people freak out because when they get here, this is grayed out. And I don't know why. It's just grayed out because I can't tell you how many phone calls I get from people freaking out because they can't get in to make the edits to this stuff. And I don't know why they put the edit all the way over here, but this is where you click edit to get to this, to get these to go active. As an instructional designer, it's bad design. I complain about that. Okay, so now it transcribed the video. So I really wasn't saying anything with too technical jargon in it. I was speaking pretty slowly. I was made sure I was in a quiet room, even though every time I record in that room, all heck breaks loose in the hallway right in front of me, and they all start to like kill each other, and so that might pick up on the video, I don't know. But, so this is the actual text that YouTube transcribed from my video. I didn't do anything to this. And so these are the timestamps here that will make it sync with my video. So you see about 2 seconds in is when I start talking. So that's when you start to see stuff. So if I hit the play button,
In this video, I'm going to show you how to log into your DCCC YouTube account, how to upload a video
so
to that.
I already see some issues I have to deal with. So I want a capital letter for my in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to log into your DCCC YouTube account. I can maybe put a comma there. I'm terrible. I love to put commas in, so if there's any English people here, just let me go, because I love my commas. So as I'm going along, I'm going to edit, and I can have this play, and it should stop as if I go into edit. So,
In this video, I'm going to show you how to log into your DCCC YouTube account, how to upload a video to that account.
So I put a comma there, and so it paused to let me make my edits, which is nice. So if I needed to add another subtitle, I can click on the plus sign here. And so it'll add, and I can add more in there. I can hit the X to make it go away. I can grab a hold of these guys here, and I can move them back and forth on the timeline. If you don't need to add anything, I really wouldn't, because you start to throw the timing off of all of your subtitles. And I really haven't had to add anything. All the videos I've done in quiet rooms, so nothing's been garbled, nothing's been missed. But you can change the timing and add timing by fooling around with the little boxes down here. There are keyboard shortcuts. So here I can click on keyboard shortcut. And I put these in the handout as well. But shift and left will send the caption box back 1 second. Shift and right will send it forward 1 second. Shift and space will pause or play the video. Shift and enter will add a new line. Shift and down takes you to the next subtitle. shift and up takes you up, and enter adds the subtitle. So if you wanted to, you could actually go in and just start from scratch and do your own subtitles if it was a small enough video. You could do that if that was your thing.
Lori, to that point, have you ever tried like, say you typed out a script for whatever you're doing? I saw that there was an option to copy paste and then it would try to sync. Have you experimented with that?
I haven't done that. I've done that in Camtasia.
Okay, I have as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I imagine it must work the same way as in Camtasia. But the transcription is getting so good up here that
It's not worth it.
It's not bad. It'll make especially if you have, I guess, technical jargon, or if you're a fast talker, or it might make the transcription better if you speak from a script, because you're not umming and awing and pausing and putting long spaces in there.
I've done it. And
In YouTube?
Yeah, and I think it's better than Camtasia. I find it difficult in Camtasia.
Okay.
But I think that also, you already have your punctuation and stuff.
Then,
in the
yeah,
script that you copy and paste into here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still like Lori said, it still depends on your clarity and everything, but the fact that if you've already written it and you've used all the proper punctuation and everything, that's valuable.
Mhm.
If you haven't written it out, this is obviously incredibly helpful.
Yes.
Because then you're not, having to do, but it worked well for what I needed to do. And again, because I didn't have to add all the punctuation in,
Yeah.
if you already have it written.
Yeah.
I had a question. If a student was looking at this and they wanted to just download the text of that video because maybe they don't have speakers on their computer, can they do that?
I don't know. I want to say I don't think you can. I'm going to go in a completely different browser just so that I don't end up bringing up an editing window just for the heck of it. So here is closed captioning. So that's only going to let me see it. Bless you. And the settings are only going to let me just change how they interact with the video on screen. So I'm going to say no. I can look that up for you, but I don't think you can.
Lori, one thing is you can actually download the transcript, but again, it would be a manual step on the faculty member's behalf. So you can actually have the video like in Canvas and link in one link, and then the transcript underneath it, but it is manual. And I think you can do an SBT file.
Yeah, so download. But this isn't the student being able to do this. This would be the faculty member doing this. So it's an SBV file, which can be opened in Notepad. And everybody has a Notepad-like type. Whether you're on a PC or a Mac, there's a Notepad-like application that's native on the device. So that's basically it. So when I'm done, I'm going to go here to save changes. And then you'll see here, it's publishing. This is the new set of captions that I did. So if I notice that I made a mistake, I'm not going to click on this guy. I'm going to click on this guy to go in and edit. So whatever the latest one is the one you want to go in and edit. If you really screw the pooch, you can just close out and not save it, and it'll say, hey, do you want to overwrite these titles? And you can say no.
I'm sorry, the SPV file, because I use SRT files, you said it opens in Notepad, does it do it automatically? Because I had to tell my PC to associate with the SRT file.
You should be able to watch. It'll make a liar out of me because I'm in front of a whole group of people.
I'm just wondering if it, I haven't worked with the SPV, so I didn't know if it automatically.
They're basically text files, so you should be able to just open Notepad and then open the file.
If you just double click on, you have to associate it with Notepad. I don't think it's smart.
It doesn't do it automatically. Okay, I didn't know because I was like, that would be easier than the setup I have now. It did.
So there it is.
So it did when you open Notepad
So I opened up Note, but usually with stuff like that, if you open up the application first, go to File, Open, and then instead of just opening the native file format, you can choose all formats, and then you can see the file. If you wanted to create a script ahead of time and you didn't want to type it, you can do drag and naturally speaking type stuff in Google Docs if you are in the Chrome browser, if you didn't know that already. So if you go to New and I have a microphone attached, I'm in Chrome, right? Yep. Go to Google Docs. It only works in Google Docs. If I go to Tools, Voice Typing, you may have to give permission for your microphone to be used. You just click on the big red button. Give myself something to say. Please note, to add or edit a captioning file, comma, you must be the owner of the video and have the video uploaded to YouTube, period. So if you wanted to dictate a script, you could create a script. You have to do it in Chrome, in Google Docs with a microphone attached. So you could create a script that way. It does a pretty good job. I have a handout of all of the commands that you can use to format while you're speaking, so I will send that out to the group as well.
Can we do that when we're lecturing?
Yeah, I mean, you could try.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, I haven't, it's been a while since I've talked, believe it or not, it's been a while since I've talked enough while I'm doing this to actually go beyond a page. So I can't remember, I want to say when this first came out, it couldn't go beyond the page, but that's something that you could test.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But yeah, but believe it or not, I didn't say enough to get to another page, and my office mates will tell you that that's a big lie. But so yeah, so that's a nice built-in feature, and it works in the Chrome browser, and it works on both Mac and PCs. You have to be in the Chrome browser for this to work. It won't work in any other browser. It does not like curse words. It'll put asterisks with.
And how do you know that?
Totally innocently, I was talking about a witch. It assumed that I was talking about something else, and it put asterisks there where the curse words were. But it handles pretty heavy accents. It handles technical jargon, so it does a pretty good job, and it's really easy to go back in and edit. It'll do new paragraph, so I will send you that information as well.
And it knows all the curse words.
I think
that
it
took something.
I think it does. I don't know my audience, so I used to work on a naval base, so I know them all.
So we'll just keep trying.
I know them all. Right. Yeah, so if you needed to create a script and you wanted to talk, you could do that. I think that's basically it for the editor. Let's see if it translated the video that I uploaded. Yep, so it did it almost simultaneously, but this was a really short video that I created just to have something, so it did create it. Again, like Alex said, it's about 80% accurate, so think about that for your students. Linda said something about a transcript and having people read transcripts. I did, when I was doing research for this, I did see that people that do have vision problems, the trend now is that they do prefer to have a transcript of the video, even if you are pretty descriptive in your audio. They prefer to have a transcript so that they can take it into their screen reading program and they can bump the speed up so that it goes faster. So I don't know what the trend is here. I don't know. Anne's office would be able to tell you whether or not students with that disability would ask for a transcript. But I have seen that that is a trend for people.
This is like an ADA question though. Is it okay to have a transcript if something doesn't have a closed captioning? I'm just trying to think. I guess I'm thinking about like oh my gosh, films on demand or something. I don't know if those are closed captioned.
I would imagine they're closed
Yeah,
captioned.
all the films on demand and docu-C2 videos are all closed captioned. That's one of the reasons why we brought those organizations in a couple of years ago. Yeah.
What if there's a YouTube video that's not mine that I want my students to use, and it's not closed captioned?
Legally, you have to have both.
Oh, okay.
You should have closed caption and a transcript available. Because it meets different populations. So even if it's not content you created, it should be accessible.
So then I just can't use a video because it says
No,
it-
you create
you
the
could caption it.
create the transcript.
But if it's not already closed captioned,
What you
There's
would,
an amendment to copyright law that would allow you as an educator to caption it for the purpose of,
okay.
or transcribe it for the purpose of transformative use.
And you could
well, that's what Alex is helping with.
Yeah, I mean, we volunteer our services this summer, and I learned a lot about sociology from Professor Baker and American National Government from Professor Williams. But we are here to help you with this process. Obviously we can't do everything for everybody. However, it's probably going to come down to where my staff is going to pivot one day a week, and we may help clean up some of the captions and stuff like that. But I have been in communication with Anne's division. She is hiring an assistant director of her department. I think the previous one left or resigned. So when that person comes on board, we will make sure that we will be in that cahoots and make sure that we're all in sync. The last thing I want is for.
Oh, and before we move on to that,
Yeah.
I have to say, there's a delegate video that I did years ago, and I had to make changes to it, and I never say the electronic version of my script because I spoke from a script for that. So what I did was I brought it up on my phone, and I held the phone up to the microphone to this, and it did a pretty good job. So, when there is desperation, there is creativity.
Did it work?
Because it was a 10-minute video that I didn't want to transcribe.
Well, that's what I was thinking is if I was using somebody else's YouTube video to do a transcript, I could do something like that. But the closed captioning would be a different issue.
But you can also contact the person, if you create a transcription, there's nothing preventing you from contacting the content creator of that video and suggesting that they use it. They might be thankful that you would give them something like that, and so they might do it because it would give them more hits for their video.
True, yeah.
So it might be something that, and you can also look to see, I can't remember where it is, but it's somewhere, if you're looking at somebody else's video, that they may have it open so that you can suggest and send a transcript if you did it.
And social media etiquette wise, that's very much okay. There's a whole community around subbing people's videos, and that's part of the social media culture.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be weird to say, hey, here's a transcript.
You
That.
can say, I'm
Okay.
a professor,
Yeah.
I think your
Yeah.
video is great.
I want to use it.
I want to use it, but I can't because blah, I did this. Maybe you want to.
And even if you, one thing I would suggest maybe before you actually take the step of writing the transcript for it, is email them and ask them just to do this, just to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because at best you get 80% accuracy.
Yeah.
So then you're not.
Yeah, they might not know how to
Yeah.
turn it on.
If they could, and then that's, if it's
And
YouTube.
you can
obviously.
share my directions.
Oh, my, thank you.
Sure, I don't care.
Yeah, so, just a couple of things. The last thing I want is for faculty to stop doing audio and video lectures because this is going to be an added step. So we're going to come up with a game plan on how we're going to, assist in that process. A lot of videos are being recorded now in Canvas, okay? So one trick is you can record your audio and video in anything you want. However, the ones in Canvas, whether you create an MP3 audio file, or sorry, an audio file or a video file, you right-click it and it allows you to save as. And then you would download that, and then you would upload it to your YouTube channel for the captioning. And then you can either leave it in YouTube, or you know, at a later time we can show you how to download the text file, which is SRT or SBB, whatever, and then how to merge it with your video or audio in Canvas. This doesn't work with MP3s. However, Lori, the trick meister she is,
desperate woman.
We'll
Desperate
take
woman.
your audio file, we'll just put an image behind it and call it a movie file or MP4 file, and then upload it here, and it triggers the captioning. So
And
that,
so that's you can
another
actually
thing.
give information about what's in the audio file, and they can look at the, so you know, like who created it, what it was about, so they can see that while they're listening to the. But it's just a trick that we did so that we could get it up there to get it transcribed.
I have a question, and it might be something to address later, but I uploaded an MP4 file that had open captioning in it to Canvas, and embedded it into my homepage, and the counter with the little bar, the runtime bar, doesn't ever minimize, so the second line of my captioning is shaded.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if that's a configuration tweak or.
Send me an email about that. We may just have to redo the text file or the transcript that comes with it, and instead of 2 lines deep, we just may have to go one line, so it doesn't interfere with that. I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay.
But
I'll show
I
you
have to
mine.
check it out.
Okay.
And I don't know what did you use to create?
I use Screencast-O-Matics,
okay.
which for me was very helpful because it takes out the ums and ahs.
Right.
It does not include those, which is lovely because I apparently do that a lot.
Right there.
Right there. And it was very quick, I mean, in real time.
Right.
And I could edit it very quickly, and it was a very easy process, and it did the punctuation really well. It had trouble with my southern accent, but other than that. But when I put it into it, when I watch it in a VLC file, there's no interference, but when I uploaded it to Canvas, I guess that runtime bar is a little taller than the other one.
When you upload, just out of curiosity, when you're uploading it to Canvas, you're uploading it as MP4?
It's an MP4, yeah.
Because that's what I've done, and I haven't had that problem, but mine are all 1-line captions.
Yeah, mine are 2-line
Yeah, we
captions.
may have to just resize the video and see if that allows for more space on it.
And I don't know if I haven't done a video in Handbrake lately, but I don't know if that lets you offset where the text appears.
Okay.
So you might want to try that.
Okay.
And are you done, Lori? I don't want to.
I guess I'm done.
I didn't
Are you
want to
done?
stop you. I just didn't want to interrupt your flow. 'Cause I had something else I wanted.
You may want to look at, because I don't know, it's hot, it's 2:30, who wants to hear my voice for the rest of the afternoon? But you may want to look at the captioning
I wasn't trying to
tips.
stop you.
These are like really kind of guerrilla tips, like these are like serious tips, so don't get overwhelmed when you look at these. Just get your stuff captioned and kind of see what they're looking for, because I took this list from the DCMP, and I can't remember what that stands for, but it's something about captioning and something or other. But I was just afraid that it was going to go away, but I did give you the link to go out to their site, and they do have other resources up there. But I just grabbed this. So this is like pretty heavy duty, what you need to think about when you're doing captions, but look through it, because it's like 3 pages. So I don't know if we feel like talking about all that, but I don't feel like talking about it anymore. But yeah, go ahead, Susan.
And I wasn't trying to stop you.
No,
I
it's
didn't want to
okay.
interrupt your flow. One thing, because I had some video content that I didn't want on YouTube even unlisted, because I didn't want students to share it maybe for copyright reasons. If I have some things from a publisher that are in a PowerPoint presentation I created, but I have a chart that I want them to see. So I stumbled upon this in Canvas, and I don't know if you guys have done any work with this, but I still put the video in YouTube to generate a transcript, but I have an MP4 file, so that also I'm not hard coding the subtitles or the captioning onto the video, because I think for some people that want to turn it off, like for me, I just find it annoying to watch a video with stuff if I don't need them, because then I'm distracted. So I was like, there's got to be a way in Canvas to not have to hard code a file, but also not have to link out to YouTube. So if you upload the video in the MP4 file, so it's from your PC or your Mac or whatever, into Canvas, then when you go to play the video, in the lower right hand corner it says CC. When you click on that, you can upload the SRT file, or the file you download, the one she showed you with all the timing on it. You can upload it, and it puts the captions on the video, self-contained video, in Canvas, so students don't have to go out to YouTube at all. And there actually is also on that screen, have you guys looked at this? Okay, because on that screen too, it gives you the option to go out to a site that will create a transcript file for you, but you can just ignore, like it's like step 1, 2, 3. You can ignore 1 and 2, and you just go down to 3 and take the file you downloaded from YouTube and put it into just where it says browse, and you just pick English as the language. That was just the solution, because there was stuff I didn't want on YouTube, even though students would be the only ones with the URL, they can still share it with other people, and so I just didn't want to get in a situation where it's being shared or for whatever reason, and then, or if it's just stuff like, I didn't want them to maybe see all the things that were in a channel on YouTube or whatever, like, I don't know, there could be lots of different reasons, but I think copyright was the big, I'm just looking at you, was the big reason. So just as a solution, if you're in that situation and you don't want it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So can I stop this so we can actually like really talk? Can I stop it?